think the genesis of the song was that I had been interested in expanding my horizons of working in different styles, and I'm a big fan of electronic music, but I don't really have much experience in it. And then a mutual friend had hooked me and the Disco Fries up, and so we had a meeting where basically I just kind of went through their tracks and picked something that I really liked. And a lot of times these kind of co-write sessions end up being like, okay, you've got 2 hours, write something great. And so I didn't want to do it that way. I wanted to take a track and have my more relaxing process rather than having a gun to my head and having, for it to be, any kind of pressure.
I have an electronic project that I'm involved in called Imposters. So, if I get tracks sent to me from outside, I kind of stick to what I'm doing with the Imposters. And it's very rare that I kind of collaborate outside of that. I'd heard, a lot about the Disco Fries and a lot of other collaborations. So I was really interested in at least giving it a track, and it definitely did not disappoint.
I don't know, it was about like a year or so ago, we reached out to them to ask them to remix one of our songs we were putting out. Just collabed on a song together, and I remember first they came over to the house and we were just chilling, and they showed us some chords they had and stuff, so we just kind of started messing around, and the session kind of ended and we had a couple ideas, and then a couple days later me and the boys got together and we just were going over it, and we kind of scratched everything that we were gonna do and just started off with this new melody and new lyric. And I think the song is kind of just about wanting to reach out to someone in a time of their need, where they're down or frustrated.
My name is Dee Adam. I'm a songwriter and producer based in Notting Hill, Portobello Road. This is my studio, and today I've been working on some music for the Disco Fries.
I used to do a lot of covers on YouTube and got an amazing response, and from there I then met Dean, we started writing. Then she played me the track that her and Kate written for the Disco Fries, and I absolutely loved it.
The first 8 bars you hear of a song, you are either kind of in or out. And this thing had this really kind of brooding, dark, kind of instrumental piece that opened the song, and so right from that point in, I was really interested. It kind of turns into this really interesting, aggressive, and bombastic electronic / 80s. Just had a really cinematic vibe, which I was really impressed with. It really took me visually to this movie that's called Miller's Crossing, Coen Brothers. It's a really heavy scene. It's very, you can kind of, the silence is deadly in the scene kind of thing. And, this track had, for whatever reason, my mind went to this movie in that one scene. So I was off to the races right away when that kind of clicked, and it clicked very early on.
So this thing came about a while ago with Danny and I, this instrumental, and we brought it to you. Obviously, the quality of your voice fit the record perfect, but not just that. I'm sure you remember it was a minute long.
Yeah.
So we had to turn it into a song.
What was nice about this process is that they just encouraged me to just do me and write how I would in my own writing, rather than trying to make something that would fit into the genre.
I think that's what it was. When I heard it, I started playing it on the piano, and that's where I thought I'd love to perform this live. But then obviously with the track, the actual drum and bass track, as you said, it's great for a feature because it can be stripped back because it is such an amazing structure, and I absolutely love singing it because drum and bass is something completely different and new for me. But it's, as you said, it was more about that one track. That one track is one of those things where you hear it and I was straight away just I'd love to do that. And yeah, it's not writing off any drum and bass, but I'm just really happy with this track and it sounds wicked.
Tommy was just messing around and was singing this ridiculous melody, and we were all laughing at it at first, and then all of a sudden the room kind of got quiet and we were we should just try it and see what it sounds like. And it's funny how sometimes you'll be really frustrated and trying really hard to get a good melody out, and it's just not coming. And when you kind of just relax and let go and let all of that like tension move away, the first thing that comes to your mind sometimes will sound like a joke because you're not thinking about it, but it's like the most natural, most easy, and it sometimes ends up being the best melody for the song.
That you could hear that it was a really well crafted and well structured song underneath, both being songwriters. It was just really nice to write something that we could sit and play acoustically. There was room, because the beats were so big, there was room for it to be a singer song, and to have someone with with great vocals like both Kate and Hope have got, to actually be able to sing it rather than it just be this kind of
looped sample.
Exactly.
Which is what most
it's proper
Blueberry
singing
songs are.
for proper artists and proper songwriters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably pretty different for you. Like for us, our productions are always super dense. Like there's 15 different parts working either together or in unison or whatever, versus typical rock productions could be a little more stripped down or whatever. So something has to be simple.
It was really stream of consciousness. I really had no idea what the song was about as I started putting the words down, but then it kind of formed this theme of resilience, and the verses are pretty dark, but the chorus is very uplifting, and it's about not letting the negativity of the world bring you down, and let's keep our head in the clouds. It's let's keep dreaming, and has kind of an uplifting message to it. It's a fun track.
We've been doing a lot more EDM style tracks recently, but I think this is the first one that is going to be released. It's really fully like an EDM song, and it's kind of the direction we've been going towards in a while. We've always had an element of being an electronic band, but infusing also other elements of rock and stuff like that, but making this transition over. We're really stoked that it's kind of bring out that side of us, and we have a lot more coming too, and this is a solid feel-good song to just be put out there right now.
Vocally, I think what I loved about it was, for whatever reason, the key. As a singer, sometimes keys just aren't right, and this key was really amazing in the sense of I really kind of was able to do a lot of the stuff I do with Our Lady Peace Earth and my solo stuff, in terms of having this broad range, like going into falsetto, and then even some of the harmonies go down into like this low baritone. So it has that acrobatic nature, I guess, which I've always been a fan of, being kind of influenced by everyone from Bjork to Mike Patton. I just love being able to jump around that way in my range.
It happened so quickly with this track. It almost like wrote itself, didn't it? We were both singing melodies, and then generally we just find something we both agree on, and you can tell by our faces when it's the one, isn't it? It's just like, yep, that's it. Then with the vocal production, lots of layers, as you can probably hear, and lots of like tricks and stuff, but fundamentally there's just a really good vocal that sits underneath it all, and the tricks and stuff all came later.
I think one of the highlights for me lyrically is probably this one phrase, "Can I sail away with you?" It's all done in falsetto, and I love there's this really great juxtaposition between that kind of glassy vocal delivery with that lyric, and the track is just like this kind of Eleanor Rigby, really heavy intensity. I just really like that juxtaposition there. When I sent the vocal tracks back, they really rearranged stuff and kind of did things that I might not have done. So as an artist, I think that's what you're always looking for, that kind of inspiration and that kind of unexpected from where your collaborators are, and those guys definitely brought it that way. Because when they sent me the final track, I was very impressed, and felt like I actually learned something just in terms of the way they move stuff around. So that was pretty cool.
I absolutely love what the Disco Fries do. It's one of those things where every single track is one of those tracks that just really gets you. So, I'm really excited for kind of what they're bringing out next.
So, we're really stoked on this track. Working with the Disco Fries has been amazing. We have a lot of love for those guys, as they were kind of the first DJ producers in the EDM scene to kind of give us a chance and work with us, and it was really cool. Opened a lot of doors for us, and they're great guys, they're great producers, and we're just really excited for the song to be out. It's called All I Wanna, and yeah, thanks guys.
to the Disco Fries. I anxiously await this coming out, and I thank you guys for involving me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, lyrically, I've always just wanted to redirect people's attention to what is working in the world, and this song does that, and is about sifting through the bad news and the filth, and getting back into an idealism, and it kind of comes and goes in music, but to me that's always the best thing music can do is spreading hope and you know, bringing people together, and it turned out to be anthemic. You know, it wasn't intended to be that, but that's what the track you guys made called for us.
Right. Yeah.
Basically, it's the greatest song that ever.
Yeah, that's the picture we have to paint without saying that.
Yeah.